It's week 4, and we've got what should be a great one here, as it'll be the San Francisco 49ers taking on the Los Angeles Rams.
Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you look at this Rams team as they enter play. A couple of 2-1 teams set to square off, and we're underway here in NFL Week 4.
This fielded right at the goal line. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23.
So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. And they'll be led out by a guy who has a couple years under his belt in the NFL, their third-year quarterback.
I like this guy, and the reason I do, he tends to stay on an even keel. Doesn't let too much ruffle him. He will manage the game the way it needs to be managed, take what the defense gives him, and then he can strike at times. Had a touchdown pass. Yes, he had an interception last week, but he found a way for his team to win.
Give them 15 yards to start their first drive of the game. From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive.
Throwing here, Purdy.
And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
The Niners at 2-1 now to start the campaign. And they come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Second down, here's Purdy to throw.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target. Incomplete.
One first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
Wishnowski on to punt as he's...
That'll go as a punt of 32 yards. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And leading them out there, their 6'5" quarterback.
I loved his quote during the week. If I were a defensive back, I would have wanted to play against me last week as well. He's trying to eliminate those turnovers, those interceptions, and get back on the positive side of the ledger, throwing touchdown passes.
Yeah, had 4 of those picks, led to the loss. The numbers for McCaffrey last week. 11 carries, 111 yards.
And the way they ran the ball in last week's game has to be satisfying to their entire staff because they're seeing not just a back gain big yardage, but they're seeing an offensive line really in sync.
2nd and 4. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have a Rams first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
On first down, this is McCaffrey. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
You look at this Niner defense.
They were excellent a week ago in the victory over Arizona.
No matter what coverage was called, they were in the hip pockets of the receivers all game long. I mean, they were running the routes with them. Turned out, they were right there on every single ball thrown and came away with 5 interceptions.
And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers 36. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Up the gut, McCaffrey.
And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down. This defense for the Niners, they were excellent a week ago in the victory over Arizona.
No matter what coverage was called, they were right in the hip pockets of the receivers all game long. Step for step, running their routes with them. Turned out they were right there. Every time the ball was in the interceptions in that one.
The Rams, they are on the move. They've got another first down. McCaffrey running up the middle. Oh, a nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle him.
And he's brought down, but he has it down to the 12 on a pickup of 12. First and 10. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish.
He'll be hit and taken down at the 21.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot.
Under pressure, they got him again.
Multiple players getting home there for an 8-yard loss. They'll make that a second sack here on their first drive out defensively, and not to get ahead of ourselves, but they're on pace for double-digit sacks at this point.
But they're going to have to find a way to tamp that down, aren't they? So if you're the play caller, you're telling your quarterback maybe some screens, maybe some draws, hard count, use your voice inflection a little bit, anything to try and slow that pressure down.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. So on fourth down, Sean McVay going to send out the field goal unit. This one from 46 yards out. And his kick is good. And the Rams have the first points here. It's 3-0.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
Back out there comes the 49ers offense ready for their second drive.
Early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice. But at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
You talk about this Rams defense.
It's quite a unit, that's for sure. Number 1 in the NFL against the pass.
And since this is such a good unit of covering passes downfield, I think that last play is typical of what we might see. A lot of short passes, see if they can generate